The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Oh yeah, welcome to Flesh Wound After Dark. We're talking soap, suds, and sexy ladies on tonight's double feature, Bikini Car Wash Company 1 and 2. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd. How goes it, producer Todd?
Goes well. Special shout out to Ozzy V. I know he's a diehard fan of both of these films.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, God, Ozzy's becoming less and less lame the more I learn about him. That's awesome. He's got good taste in these films, which I'm very excited to talk about because it was a pleasant surprise when MVD announced these for Blu-ray. These are very popular movies, and I'm eager to talk about them.
They're very popular to a very specific generation who grew up on these films.
It is funny because there might be some people unfamiliar thinking like nobody knows these films. Not true. I guarantee you there was a shocking amount of people who have probably watched this. Probably more so than some of the lesser Marvel movies because these were all over cable and people watched them left and right back in the day. And yeah, we'll get right into it because I'm kind of curious to get your history.
Not the late great Ed Hanson's best film, but still up there. But we'll talk about that one later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm kind of curious to see what you think that is. But
I mean, do you really? Okay.
Well, I'll let you save it. All right, so we'll get right into the first one from director Ed Hanson. We've got the Bikini Car Wash Company, and I should say from 1992. My bad. So in this film, a group of young women decide to help out a local car wash by wearing bikinis while they wash the customers' cars. This succeeds in attracting more customers, more money, and more attention from the police, who are not amused by the scantily dressed employees. All right, so these were both on USA Up All Night back in the day.
Not the best way to watch them, but they were.
The frustration. I mean, I've talked about this before. I enjoyed USA Up All Night, but a lot of times it was more or less a way to like, okay, this is what I need to rent,
Yeah.
or find on cable or what have you. But not really the way to enjoy the movie. And I can't, I don't have like a clear memory. I probably didn't watch the whole movie on there, to be honest. But you look at these films and it is basically a mixture of just tits and music montages, like hair band
music montage with tits too.
This is true. So it's like you're watching it and you're thinking like, how the hell would you fill that out? Like Rhonda Shear had to probably do extra bits to fill that out because everything must have been edited.
Well, I don't think they had like a standard 4-hour block. So if they only ran 3 hours for 2 movies on Up All Night, it wasn't an issue.
Yeah. I'd love to go back and actually watch those versions of it though, just to see, because I mean, there's not more than, I swear, like a minute where there's not boobs on the screen. So it's wild. But yeah, that was I think part of what made these movies so popular. A little bit about some of the cast though, and the cast and crew. So one that I wanted to throw out, Patrick Wright. He is kind of a bit of a drive-in grindhouse legend. I mean, he was the coach in the cheerleaders, did a lot of sexploitation. He was in Sassy Sue, Caged Heat, The Candy Tangerine Man, also Revenge of the Cheerleaders, Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens, Maniac Cop, Black Belt, probably Don the Dragon Wilson's best movie. He's a notable name that does pop up here. We also get Sarah Suzanne Brown. She was in Test Tube Teens from the year 2000, Secret Games 2, Mirror Images 2. She had a good run. There's a lot of ladies in here that were kind of just more or less a handful of films and then moved on. Jim Wynorski talks a lot about that in his commentary.
They find a wealthy husband and then they disappear.
Pretty much, yeah. In 5 to 7 movies usually, and you would just see them just gone. He actually throws out that some of these girls really only got like $100 a day for shooting on these movies. So, I mean, that's early 90s money, but still, like, you know, they weren't really making a lot of money, but you know, you always had that hope of
it was exposure, it was networking, it was having something to like show for them. Yeah, I get it. Like there's a reason you worked indie back then.
Absolutely. And Jim Wynorski, if you're wondering, no, Ed Hansen is not just a fake name. Wynorski came into this when his buddy George Buck Flower, who is a writer producer on this film, called him up since Ed Hansen was kind of struggling. It was a 6 to 7 day shoot that wasn't going great. Apparently Ed Hansen was a little bit hesitant and afraid to shoot the naked ladies at that time, and Jim obviously didn't have that issue, so they brought him in. And I mean, I'm gonna say it kind of sounds like Wynorski should have a co-director.
See, I find this kind of odd, considering this is the man who directed one of my favorite films ever, Taking It Off, which is chock full of nudity.
Yeah.
So I don't know that story. I don't know, something about it. Just
he tells it. They just said, like, apparently Ed, I think, also, you know, had some other issues, but like they wanted Jim to come in because he just it could be weird. It could be weird directing like a naked lady.
Well, this was like his 7th feature, though, full of naked ladies previously.
Exactly. It does seem strange, doesn't it? But and that's why the commentary was interesting to listen to, because I was like, yeah, that he did have a history of it, but you know, maybe something at that point in his life. I'm not sure. It's, as always, a Wynorski commentary is very much worth listening to. They shot this at the Sunshine Car Wash in Rosemead, California. And yeah, I was gonna say, I think we're gonna have to.
Does the car wash still exist? Did they mention that in the commentary?
I don't recall, but I think so.
I'll have to investigate.
Some car washes sometimes can last
forever. People need their cars washed.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What was the name of it?
It was the Sunshine Car Wash in Rosemead, California.
I got that. Sunshine.
Yes.
I'm checking right now if it still exists, because if so, I know you're gonna want to go get a car wash now.
Fuck yeah. I don't have a car down there in California, but yeah, we'll get your car washed. Probably won't be as interesting as in the movie. Like I said, I mean, this movie really is plot light. It's more music montages and girls just soaping each other up. You know what though? There's just something about it. They run out of plot. Like, there's a plot with this random pervert that's streaking, and there's a little bit of a twist with that, but there's really basically no plot to speak of in these movies. They're the perfect summertime watches, though. They really are. There's just a fun spirit of craziness and just and it does have some good gags. The
Before you say the gag, Dan, I'll just let you know to confirm it still exists.
Okay, sweet. I figured it did because I'm pretty sure there's been several other things that have been shot there. But yeah, the beginning when Jack's trying to locate this car wash for some reason on the beach, which doesn't make any sense. Jack, get away from me and my tits, you creep. Was one of the funnier lines. Yeah, this one was a massive hit on video. It was. I remember back in the day, you know, just picking this up and, young guy, obviously. Obviously you're it's like a big score when you actually manage to rent it. And yeah, I still love this movie. I really do. There's one line to kind of the ditzy character. I think the Flasher is gay. He hates women. Oh, that's nice. I think everyone should be happy, even Flashers. It's that kind of humor. And of course, Tops being sucked off by the hose at the at the car wash. It puts a big smile on my face. If you like titties and White Snake, basically, you're going to enjoy this movie.
It's so 90s. If you like 90s tits, because these are very 90s boobs job. It is very much a moment in time. Like, we don't have stuff like this anymore, unfortunately. Thanks, internet. Ruins everything.
It does.
But it's just a fun. I mean, is it anything you really got to think about? No, not at all. I mean, so like if you're watching it for plot, the music montage just might go on a little too long, but it's just fun. It's an era of filmmaking that no longer exists. I mean, from the name of the movie, if it sounds like something you're absolutely going to hate, just go with that gut, because this is the Bikini Car Wash Company. It delivers exactly what it's supposed to and what it should, and what the poster art, the title, and everything. This is what you get when you pop it in. Like,
how about?
And then they take them tops off.
Exactly, and it, like I said, the humor is very. It's funnier now than I feel like it was then, just because, like you said, it's like we don't get it at all. I also I neglected to mention Christy Ducati, if she looks familiar. She is a Wynorski girl. She was in Sorceress from 1995 with Julie Strain and Linda Blair. Meatballs 4, which I believe at some point you're going to be doing.
Coming up in a couple weeks this summer.
Intimate Obsession and some other movies. She's a classic example. Had a very short run, not a lot of movies, and Sorceress was the last one. And on set, she told Wynorski she's getting married and moving to Seattle, and he hasn't seen or heard from her since. So some lucky dentist or lawyer or something snatched her up and took her away from us. God damn it. But yeah, these movies do make me happy. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world, and it's nice to go back to a simpler time. And I think
bikinis and boobs, the good old days.
Bikinis and boobs. Well, you mentioned director Ed Hansen, who, of course, you mentioned Taking It Off, which
one of my favorites.
And one of your favorites that I don't believe we have done.
No, we have not yet. But I think the thing is, I want to cover all three, and I'm still trying to find a really good copy of the third film. So that's pretty much been the whole, because I have VHS and I have Laserdisc of Taking It Off. Spent way too much money for it, but that thing was hard to find. I've Taken It Off too. I have on tape, and Taking It Off Out West is the one that's hard to find. It's a later one, Julie Strain. Not really connected, but it is named sequel, so it's just a matter of getting it.
Yeah. Maybe we could at some point tackle some of Ed's other movies. I mean, Hell's Bells, chick in some of those movies.
There's a couple of them I may have only seen once, some of those gaps. So yeah, I'm definitely in that. I think we'll have to do the Taking It Off series. So coming up maybe after the summer, after things calm down, we'll get that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like we've waited for like really good releases of those, and
I don't expect. I don't expect. Well, now Lionsgate, come on, Vestron series double feature.
Yeah, you know what? Todd will pay that $35.
I'll come and do the commentary for absolutely free.
There you go. You've heard it here. Todd will work for free if you put them out. But yeah, and how about those early computer graphics in this in the opening?
Oh, God. It's awesome.
Flashbacks of arcade.
Oh yeah.
So I know this is like kind of a tough one to rate because it feels like it's more vignettes than an actual movie. But what do you give it, Todd? The first one.
It's there's some nostalgia attached to it. There's some other things. Is it a 5? Absolutely not. Am I going to give it a 5? No. My level of enjoyment might be a 5, but I'm going to be realistic for what it is and the genre it is. I'm going to say this is a 4.
I'm going to go a 4 as well. You can't complain. I mean, the women are gorgeous. There was a different look in the 90s. Like even some of these women that had work done, but they still looked like women, if that makes sense.
The biggest 90s thing was the big fake boobs and the blonde hair. That was which everyone wanted to be Pam Anderson. Let's just be real. It was a very specific look. I mean, there was
but
still
you didn't look fake.
It was still, the tits did, but it was still natural. Like, I mean, we weren't like injecting shit into the faces and stuff, which, just for the record, ladies, all 0 that are watching us right now, that is not a look men like. That is the look women think men like. And it's not. I mean, you put someone like Sarah Susan Brown against someone with big fake lips and injections all over, and most of them are going to take the more natural looking one.
I agree 100%.
It's for women themselves, which is fine. So if that's what you want to do, I do it. But it's not like, I mean, and people, it's for other women. It's not. I don't need. It's a whole thing. It's weird. It is.
I think it's fair to say you do not need to do that to get a guy.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at, like, you can tell the women who age naturally versus the ones who don't. Someone, we just talked about her a couple weeks ago, Jurassic World. Scarlett Johansson, naturally beautiful and isn't like going and injecting all that stuff. And if she is, it's top-notch surgeons, but but I mean, like, it's a whole thing. Do what you want to do, ladies. I'm just saying it. Just realize that we don't want that. If that's what you're doing it for.
Yeah.
Because it is. Like, the only thing that was big and fake were the tits, and we were fine with that. We didn't care.
Yes. So a lot of beautiful 90s ladies in this first film. And with that being said, we will move on to our next movie, which is The Bikini Car Wash Company 2 from director Gary Dean Arona, who we'll talk about in a minute. But essentially, this film picks up with the car wash attendants who are now in the big time. They've got a big corporate offices, and unfortunately, they have to turn to televised lingerie sales to save their establishment from the evil owner or the evil businessman that's trying to steal it from them. Sorry, I'm winging these synopses because the plots are very thin in these, but yeah, essentially they have to turn to this sort of religious evangelical company. It doesn't even really make sense, but they kind of weasel their way in there to sort of pimp their business. And yeah, plot is not these movies' strong suit. Gary Dean Arona, if he sounds familiar, we have talked about some of his stuff here on the show before. He did a lot on the Hotel Erotica TV series. He did Bikini Watch, The Great Bikini Off-Road Adventure.
Didn't we cover that?
Yes, I do believe we did. We did one of his movies like recently, and I think it may not even be posted yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe it's the Great Bikini Off-Road Adventure.
Well, and he's an interesting name because now he's doing these sort of alien conspiracy docs, abducted humans on alien planets, humans on Mars. These are all just recent. But he's probably best known as a director of adult films, XXX movies.
We've reviewed a couple of his, and I think in franchise shows back when we used to do that.
He did the official Psycho parody, Silence of the Lambs, Halloween, Basic Instinct, Scarface, Friday the 13th, the Vampire Sex Diaries. So he's kind of known for hardcore work. Certainly not shy about directing. And I got a cattail on my cat crashing the party. Certainly not not shy about filming disrobed ladies.
Did we cover his movie Die Influencers Die from 2020? I'm just realizing it has.
I think you did.
Was it the one we couldn't find? I can't remember. It has Tabitha Stevens, Lizzie Borden, and Katie Morgan. And I think I'd remember Lizzie Borden and Katie Morgan.
I think we did do it because I remember.
It's on Tubi, so I'll have to confirm that either way. Because
you
had me at Lizzie. Yeah, you had me at Lizzie and not Tabitha. Tabitha's cool, but Katie Morgan.
Tabitha Stevens is very cool. I won't get too sidelined with this, but Tabitha Stevens, at least when I've met her, is sweet, funny, genuinely funny. Actually, a very funny lady. If you get a chance to meet her, I don't think she's doing AVN shows anymore, but if you get a chance to meet her, she is great. All right, so we do get more hair metal montages throughout this movie, but this one's a little more plot driven. Like, this is a good example. I mean, in comparison, this is a good example of a USA Up All Night kind of movie.
It's a stock plot, the haves versus the have-nots. Like I literally just said this verbatim on a different show. It's the haves or the have. It's a generic cookie cutter plot. We got to save this. We got to put on a show. It's Little Rascals with tits. I mean, when you really break it down, which is fine because I mean that's all we're really looking for in this. We're not looking for some high art plot. It's not that. I do think the first one's probably a little bit better, but this one is more plot driven. I don't know. Maybe I just like the cast in the first one a bit better. I think that's a.
You don't like the Mr. McMahon-esque villain in this? I don't negotiate with bimbos.
I do like when he's trying to Weinstein her in the office. It's pretty fun. It'll only be $2 million. All you gotta do. But no, I do.
Quick he just goes to it's like, yeah, I'll make a $4 million bet. Why not?
Yeah.
Show me your titties. But yeah, no, I mean, this is another one. I do like that they at least try and keep it connected to the other one. They explain that Jack, the nerd love interest from the first one, left for Africa to help starving kids. So many of these movies don't even try to keep some continuity. They just ignore everything. And I'm like, just give me a little something, you know?
A throwaway line that it's going to make a difference to like us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's I know maybe the average person that's just tuning in to Cinemax or HBO late at night maybe doesn't care, but hey, I want some continuity between movies, so take the time to connect them. But yeah, you're right. It's a very stock plot. It's funny. Plenty of boobs, beautiful women. I feel like there's going to be people that watch some of these shows and think it's like, what's the big deal? Like, you could get this just online. But again, we don't have like just fun B movies and B softcore movies like this anymore for the most part. It's just a certain time, and it's not about just the erotic aspect to it. These movies are just fun. They're happy. They're just you know, something that should be made. I do still think there's an audience for it. And I don't know. It's sad that we don't have it.
I think the thing is you're not going to get any new fans. I don't think the youngsters are going to be. I don't think these are going to be getting many new fans as much it is us and the older ones keeping them alive. Because I mean, it is a dead genre of film at this point.
Not totally, pretty much, but not totally. There's some people holding on.
Yeah, but it's a dead genre. I mean, there's
there's not as many places to really.
Yeah, there's no market for this stuff anymore. I mean, like, where does it go? Like, it used to go to the video store. I mean,
people still, I think, though, enjoy a parody. I think you have to make them a little more plot driven. It would be hard to make Bikini Car Wash Company now, but I think if you know, and there are still some people that don't that don't like the hardcore stuff. Like
I disagree. I think you could flesh out Bikini Car Wash to make it a true comedy versus just a more of a sex comedy than a TNA comedy, which is what really it is. Like, I think it was cranked out for cable and home video for titillation. I mean,
also, I feel like to watch with your significant other. A lot of women in particular don't like maybe the hardcore stuff, but these were sexy movies you could pop on with.
Yeah, but these are more male driven. Like, these aren't the erotic thrillers. Those are more couples. It's called the Bikini Car Wash Company. A girl is not going to be like, "Ooh, that sounds fun." She's gonna be like, "No, that just sounds like tits." You throw in an erotic thriller, you get it both ways.
Yeah, you'll get to see Andrew Stevens' ass while he's plowing Monique Parent or whoever.
Yeah, I don't think these are couples movies, Dan. Sorry.
Hey, I one of my earliest girlfriends was exactly that way. Did not like the hardcore stuff, but she'd be cool, like put on a sexy movie and get in the mood. Yeah, so that was my experience anyways. I know I'm old. I'm not that old.
Did you use Bikini Car Wash Company though? That's the question.
I don't specifically remember that, but I definitely like some of the like Olin Ray Wynorski softcore bump and grind movies. She was cool with that. Little comedy, nothing like filthy. Some women don't want the glazed donut kind of shit that that
Dan prefers.
In certain cases, but I love it all. All right, so
obviously, I'm sure this is going to be another high rating. We gave the last one a 4.
This one's going to get a 4 too. I don't have a really definitive answer which one I think I prefer in this case. This one does, like I said, have a little more plot, although a stock plot. But
I think my biggest
one will be more popular for that reason, because it does feel a little more USA Up All Night.
I feel the second one has a more misleading title.
Not enough car wash for you?
Well, yeah, it should be the lingerie or the Bikini Lingerie Company or something, but it's a sequel.
Some car wash.
It's not as dumb as The Haunting in Connecticut 2, Haunting in Georgia. I'll give it that.
Yeah, which is actually a decent movie too, but that's all anybody says about it.
Because it could have just been A Haunting in Georgia. Because that makes sense.
I think that Katie Sackhoff was in that. I think it would have sold just fine. But all right, so guys, pick this up. Not a lot to go over in terms of special features. There's the Wynorski commentary, and that's good enough for me. I'm very glad that these movies came out. I hope it does well, and I hope we get more like.
Now we should point out these were shot, on video. They're not.
Yes.
They're not film prints, so but they do look great on the Blu-ray if you know what you're getting into.
I was going to say I think these movies look remarkably well, so and as good as they ever will. So
yeah, with the compression on an MP4 versus the DVD's MPEG-2, you don't have the compression. They definitely look better. Being able to breathe on a disc, bigger bit rate. I do think they're a solid presentation.
Awesome.
They're never going to look like Titanic. So
no. But them titties look clear and nice. So all right, guys. Well, stay tuned. We're gonna have more Flesh Wound After Dark dropping for you. We got a lot of stuff on the horizon. Patreon.com/Flesh Wound Features, where it all starts at just $1. We've got some early, uncensored, and exclusive content on there for you. So check it out. And we'll see you back here next time. Good night.
Money's on the dresser.